Hello everybody, I can't believe we are in Unit 20 and we still have new topics for you. Have a look. Review of the conditional tenses we know, plus 3 new additions. How to use the verbs to put and to get. Vocabulary related to training and learning new things. The predeterminers. Talking about the competition. And as usual, we'll talk about pronunciation, words to watch, and much more. Let's go. We know some conditionals from previous units, but it's always good to remind you of them. Also, we have some new forms to add. Are you ready? Of course you are. Let's get started. We talked about conditionals back in Unit 15, remember? We use them to talk about actions that are connected, sentences in which one action depends on the other. In English, when we use conditionals, there are 2 words we use a lot, if and would, which is the auxiliary verb that indicates that the clause is in conditional tense. Here you have some examples as a reminder. Pay attention to the structure. If you freeze water, it turns into ice. Both clauses are in present simple, as you can see, and they present a condition and a result. That's what we call the zero conditional. If he doesn't arrive soon, I'll be very annoyed. Present simple plus future simple and a very probable conditional. That's the first conditional. Quite easy, right? If I won the lottery tomorrow, I would travel around the world. This is the second conditional, and we use it to talk about hypothetical situations. Notice how we use would here. So that was a quick revision of the conditionals that we've already studied. If you need to revise them a bit more, go back to Unit 15. Now, what new conditionals are we going to look at in this unit? Let's start with a second conditional that is a bit different from the one you know. The second conditional continuous. The second conditional continuous goes like this. There is a clause with the condition and then a main clause with a result. Here is the structure. If plus past simple plus would be plus present participle. The basic meaning of the sentences in second conditional continuous is, if this thing happened, that thing would be happening. So the result is usually an unreal condition. Let's see some examples. If I spoke German, I would be working in Berlin. But I don't speak German, so I'm not working in Berlin. If he had children, he would be working part-time. But he doesn't have children, so he's not working part-time. If you knew the truth, you would be screaming. But you don't know the truth, so you're not screaming. Of course, some of these clauses could be in negative form. For example, if he earned more money, he wouldn't be living with his parents. If we weren't teachers, we wouldn't be working with children. If I wasn't a full-time gardener, I would be studying history. Too complicated? Don't worry, it's all about practice. Let's move on now to the third conditional. We use the third conditional when we talk about a condition in the past that didn't happen. This is the structure. If plus past perfect plus would have plus past participle. Let's have a look at some examples. If I had known that, I would have told you. If you had rung her, she would have stayed. If we had arrived sooner, you would have seen us. But we didn't arrive sooner, so you didn't see us. We always talk about things that didn't happen. We can also use some negative forms in third conditional clauses. Let's try it with the previous examples. If I had known that, I wouldn't have told you. If you hadn't rung her, she would have stayed. If we hadn't arrived sooner, you wouldn't have seen us. And finally, we have something called mixed conditionals. We use them when we imagine a past change with a result in the present, or a present change with a result in the past. What? Don't panic. You'll understand it with some examples. Imagine a situation in which a change in the past would have a result in the present. For example, if I hadn't got the job in Lima, I wouldn't be married to Elena now. So if something that happened in the past had been different, the present would be different too. Now imagine how a different situation in the present would mean that the past was different too. She is very stressed. If she weren't, she wouldn't have talked to you like that. Great, that's more than enough for lesson 1. Good job, everyone. Oh wait, one last tip.
Speaking of conditionals, remember that you can also use them with the imperative, like this. If there is an emergency, call this number. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. And if you want to learn the conditional, keep practicing.